Hi, welcome to a complete course in calculus. We're still in the section of how to find limit. So let's see a couple of limit examples. So the first example says, find the limit of sine 2x divided by sine 3x as x approaches to 0. So even if sine is a trigonometric function which is defined everywhere, I do have sine in the denominator. So what happened is, if I plug x equal to 0, 3 times 0 is 0, so sine 0 is 0. So that will make my expression undefined. So how do we solve it? How do we simplify it? So remember, whenever you see limit involving sine, and if you cannot simplify, one technique that you should think of is, remember this: the limit of sine of any angle divided by an angle as that angle goes to 0, that is always equal to 1. That's what you have to think. So how do I simplify this limit? This is what you need to do. So this guy will be equal to the limit of, because I have sine 2x here, right? So I need the same expression in the denominator for this guy. So I'll just keep 2x divided by, I will have sine 3x, x goes to 0. Now you may ask, hold on, I see you are dividing the numerator sine 2x by 2x, the denominator here by 3x. So which means basically you are dividing both the numerator and the denominator by xx. That is okay, but the numbers are not the same. This is 2, this is 3. So how do you get rid of that? Okay, x is okay because I have x, I put x. The only issue will be the numbers, coefficients. So to cancel that out, I'll just multiply it by 2. So here you see 2 over 2 is 1. So which means I will have just x. Here same thing, I have 3 here. I'll just multiply it by 3. Now this tells me that 2 over 2 is 1, 3 over 3 is 1. So I just divided, potentially I divided the numerator by x, the denominator by x. So which is, I mean, x over x is 1, right? So now using constant multiple rule for limit, 2/3. This is 2/3, right? It's a constant. I can factor it out. So that will give me limit of sine 2x divided by 2x, everything divided by sine 3x over 3x, x goes to 0. So if you watch the previous video, I use change of variables. So sorry, I would say for this one, I would say let theta equal to 2x. So as x goes to 0, theta goes to 0. And then for this guy, I would say let, same thing, I would say beta equal to 3x. So as x goes to 0, beta goes to 0. So which means this guy can be, because each limit exists, the limit of the quotient, the limit of the quotient is the quotient of the limit. So what does that mean? 2/3 limit of sine 2x over 2x, x goes to 0, divided by limit of sine 3x divided by 3x, x goes to 0. Now you can use this change of variable. So that will give you 2/3 limit of sine of, what is 2x? Theta, divided by theta, theta goes to 0, divided by limit of sine beta divided by beta, beta goes to 0. Now from this we know that each limit is 1, so it will be 1 divided by 1. So the answer is what? 2/3. So that's how you find limit involving sine. Let's see another example. This is finding limit of, I would say, a complex fraction. Complex fraction means a fraction divided by another fraction. When it says complex, it doesn't mean it's a complex, it's just a name. Whenever you have rational divided by another rational, we call it complex. So how do you find this limit? Of course, the first step will be simplify the numerator. So how do you simplify that? You find the least common denominator. So how do you find the least common denominator? You multiply the first guy by 4, right? Because I have 4 here, minus, you multiply the second guy by x plus 4. X plus 4. Now you see, they have the same denominator now. Divide everything by x, x goes to 0. So now because this expression, they have the same denominator, I can write with the common denominator. That will give me 4 minus x plus 4 divided by 4 times x plus 4. Everything divided by x, x goes to 0. So that will give me limit of, now if you distribute the minus, 4 minus x minus 4. 4 minus x minus 4 divided by 4 times x plus 4. Everything divided by x, x goes to 0. Now the 4 cancels out. So keep in mind here, x means what? X over 1. Dividing two fractions means multiplying by the denominator, the reciprocal of the denominator. So which means this will give me limit of minus 4 cancelled out. So I have negative x divided by 4 times x plus 4. Now when you flip this guy, x over 1, when you flip it, it will give 1 over x. X goes to 0. Now the x cancels out. So that will leave me limit of negative 1 over 4 times x plus 4 as x approaches to 0. Now this is rational expression or rational function which is defined at 0. So we have a theorem which says for rational functions, for rational expressions, if the denominator is different from 0, limit becomes value. So I can plug 0 here. So that will be negative 1, 0 plus 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So the answer will be what? Negative 16. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.